Southwest Louisiana. This is 7 News Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Erica Bivens. 2 Lake Charles boaters reported missing this afternoon have been found. Coast Guard Sector Houston Galveston reports Carl Schramm and Chris Bageron made a distress call around 10:30 a.m. stating their 42-foot boat was quickly sinking and they were going to swim to the nearest oil rig, while the 2 were picked up by a Coast Guard helicopter. We're told one of the men was taken to the local airport with signs of dehydration, but both are doing okay at this time. Meanwhile, tragic news out of Ragley, where an overnight trailer fire took the lives of 2 children. Deputy Chief Brant Thompson with the State Fire Marshal's office says a 13-year-old and 8-year-old died after a fire destroyed their family trailer. A neighbor saw the fire around 4:30 a.m. and tried to rescue the children but was overcome with smoke. They were taken to the hospital for treatment and released. Thompson said the children were being watched at a neighboring family member's home. It's unclear how and why the children returned to their trailer in the middle of the night. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Now, a GoFundMe account has been created for the family of the 2 children. According to the donation page, the family lost everything they own and did not have home insurance. To donate, head to kplctv.com to find the link. Authorities continue to investigate an armed robbery at the Market Basket in Westlake last night. KPLC's Liz Coe has reaction tonight from those who shop at the grocery store.
Around 10:30 Friday night, Westlake police officers were dispatched to the Market Basket on Sampson Street.
I seen the cops between 9-something and 10 o'clock coming down Shady Lane, coming down Sampson Street, but I didn't know what had happened.
Longtime Westlake resident Gabriel Washington was in the area while officers were responding to a call of an armed robbery at this Westlake grocery store.
So I heard about stealing in the store, but not the first time that I heard since I've been staying here about a robbery.
The store was closed when the robbery took place. Only employees were inside. Authorities say no one was injured, but the suspect left the store with an undisclosed amount of cash.
I'm glad that no one got hurt. That's a good thing. The money could be replaced. They have insurance, but he still needs to be caught, him or her, whoever.
Washington says the situation is surprising, but it doesn't scare him from shopping at his familiar grocery store.
Well, things happen, it's part of life. Got bad and good everywhere you go.
Fellow resident and Market Basket shopper Caleb Guillory feels the same.
I think for a lot of people it might make them a little uneasy about coming, just because you never know what could happen, but not just here, but it could happen anywhere, so you just got to keep your head up.
At your service, Liz Coe, KPLC 7 News.
Now, anyone with information is asked to call Westlake Police. Funeral services continue today for another Baton Rouge police officer shot and killed last Sunday morning in an ambush attack. Deputy Brad Garafola died a hero, and today thousands gathered to pay tribute to his life and bravery. Officers from across the country and beyond traveled in to pay their respects. Governor John Bel Edwards and countless others who spoke at his funeral service spoke of not just his service as a police officer, but that of all law enforcement officers around the world.
It is a most noble profession, a profession in which you are often expected to remedy all societal ills and do so flawlessly with sometimes little respect and recognition.
Strength and courage. Every day, all the way to the end.
Now, Officer Matthew Gerald's funeral services took place Friday. Baton Rouge Corporal Montrell Jackson's funeral is Monday at 9 a.m. at Living Faith Christian Center in Baton Rouge. And prayers or good thoughts are asked tonight for the other 3 officers injured last week. BRPD officer Chad Montgomery was released from the hospital early last week. Deputy Bruce Simmons, who was shot in the arm, underwent 2 surgeries and still has 1 more to go, we're told. Deputy Simmons also in attendance today at the funeral of his fallen brother. However, East Baton Rouge Deputy Nick Tollier remains in the hospital tonight in critical condition. Well, turning to weather, we saw some afternoon showers today. Meteorologist Zach Fradella has more in our first alert forecast.
They were really hit or miss today. Most places stayed dry for your day on your Saturday, although one storm did pop up right over one of the more populated areas, and that being Lake Charles. Let me show you Storm Vision HD because we're not talking about any rain tonight. We've quickly seen the few showers that were left over this evening. They're going away. You look behind the banner up at the top. There are some storms over central Louisiana trying to creep into northern areas, but I just don't think they're going to make it. We're to the point of the night where the cooler air of the overnight hours usually ends those storms very quickly. Storm Vision HD shows how these, rain showers played out today, and you can see how they were very, missed, because there was one that developed right over to I-210 in South Lake Charles during the early afternoon hours, but for the most part, much of southwest Louisiana stayed dry today. Here's how it plays out overnight tonight. A look out of our DeRitter Skycam as well. Temperatures in the upper 70s, the usual warm mugginess that's out there. And then as we go into tomorrow, look how quickly we're heating up. By 11 a.m., already near 90, but maybe more rain tomorrow and maybe more rain over the coming days. I'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Well, a local ministry is using Pokemon Go to spread their love to the people. KPLC's Caitlin Brust has more on the church braving the heat to make sure gamers were taken care of.
So what do Jesus and Pikachu have in common? It seems to be the power to bring people together.
This morning, a group from the Church of the King decided to take advantage of the Pokemon Go craze. They're using the game to get out of the church and into the community so they can spread their love.
We just really want to get outside of the church walls and meet real people. Hopefully, if they're looking for Pikachu, they can find the love of Jesus.
It wasn't about preaching to the masses. It was simply about loving the people and forming a more united community. The church gave out free snacks, cold drinks, and provided a phone charging station to refuel the players. There was also a raffle giving away iTunes and Google Play gift cards.
So while everyone's out here catching a million Magikarp, Church of the King is making sure to spread their message of love. At your service here in Lake Charles, Caitlin Rust, KPLC 7 News.
911 reporting the Grand.
Well, this week marks 1 year since the deadly shooting at the Grand 16 Theater in Lafayette. A lone gunman entered the theater like any other moviegoer, but 20 minutes later, he would end up killing 2 people and injuring 11 more before taking his own life. The tragic news made national news, but behind the headlines, a city in the heart of Acadiana carried on.
I have no doubt that the optimism of Lafayette is going to get us all through it, because we're all kind of like a family here.
We're not going to let incidents like this affect Lafayette.
Now, 2 women, Jillian Johnson, a business owner with a talent for music, and Macy Bro, a radiology student at LSU Eunice, were killed in the shooting. Lafayette Strong, of course, becoming a motto used for other cities affected by tragedies. Still to come, new details on the police officer who shot an unarmed man in Miami. Stay with us.
Welcome to Honda. See anything you like?
Yeah. Now is the moment to get the Honda Civic you love, voted 2016 North American Car of the Year at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
Over 8 billion people a day come in for my Popeye's bona fide chicken.
Annie, there are only 7 billion people on Earth.
Some of them come in twice. Right now, get 11 pieces of my chicken for just $13.99.
That chicken from Popeyes.
A sound as smooth as pure silk? That's hard. Legs as smooth as pure silk? That's easy. Pure Silk moisturizes for legs like pure silk.
Legs like pure silk.
A Barbasol close shave is better than a slicing your T-shot and watching it fly within inches of a personal injury lawyer kind of close shave. So, lather up, America.
Barbasol is proud to sponsor the Barbasol Championship on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
Technology is a living thing. It listens to us.
How may I help you?
It shows us the way. It expands our minds and gives us vision where once we had none. This is how civilization moves forward. This
is how we get coffee.
The 2016 Corolla. Technology on a whole other level.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a stylish new 2016 Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
Hurricane season is here. Let KPLC and Popeyes help you be prepared with the 7-Storm Team 2016 Hurricane Preparedness Guide and Tracking Chart. Find them in your local Popeyes or here at KPLC in downtown Lake Charles.
Well, in Florida, new developments today in the police shooting that's provoked so much outrage this week. The wounding of a caregiver with his hands in the air, shot as he tried to help a man with autism. Today, that man's mother spoke out about what happened to her son. Morgan Radford has the latest.
This is the man police thought was armed and suicidal. 26-year-old Arnaldo Rios, autistic and nonverbal, seen here with a toy truck just like the one he was holding when his behavioral therapist, Charles Kinsey, pleaded for calm before being shot by Officer Jonathan Alita. Today, Rios' mother Gladys Soto said her son is now in a psychiatric ward after seeing his therapist shot. She says he was handcuffed and held in a squad car for 3 hours. My son is a human, not a piece of trash, she said, wiping away tears. Arnaldo's sister says he's so upset he's refusing to take off his shirt, still stained with Kinsey's blood.
He's not sleeping, he's not eating, he's not the same anymore.
Officer Alita, who's on paid administrative leave pending an investigation by the state's attorney, said, I took this job to save lives and help people. I did what I had to do in a split second. His commanding officer is on unpaid leave for giving conflicting accounts to investigators, while the North Miami Police Department tells NBC News they plan to review the case and learn from what happened. Charles Kinsey is recovering from gunshot wounds to the legs, speaking to Miami station WSVN earlier this week.
I was really more worried about him than myself, because I'm looking at, as long as I got my hands up, they're not going to shoot me.
But they did, leaving one man wounded and another deeply traumatized. Morgan Radford, NBC News, New York.
Coming up, why a second case of non-travel related Zika has blood banks on alert. The story next in HealthCast.
Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. That's how I was raised to talk to police officers. They risk their lives every day to protect our families. They deserve our respect and our support. Now our police officers are under attack, targets of hate and violence. It's got to stop. It's time for everyone, Republican, Democrat, black, white, to take a stand. We need more people backing the badge and fewer people attacking the badge. I'm Scott Angel, and I approve this message.
Just announced, Chevrolet is again the #1 domestic brand for quality by J.D. Power. Better than Ford, better than Dodge, better than any domestic brand. Chevy is #1, and your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers are celebrating by saving you money. Save 20% off MSRP on a great selection of new Chevrolets. That's right, save 20% off MSRP on the #1 cars, trucks, and SUVs for quality. So for the highest quality domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs, come to your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
At KPLC 7 News Sunrise, our morning starts with yours. We get you caught up on what happened overnight and the big stories happening today.
Breaking news this morning from South Lake Charles.
We're the only place to get a reliable pinpoint forecast.
A muggy start to your morning could lead to showers.
And we make sure you know about the traffic and construction that can slow you down. Don't start your day without KPLC 7 News Sunrise. Our morning starts with yours. The new weather app from 7 News. New features, a whole new level of keeping your family safe. The power and precision of the 7-Storm Team, plus the customization you want. Now with pinpoint radar accuracy, targeted warnings where you live, and the power to alert your family and friends wherever they are. Download the free 7-Storm Team weather app. Text weather app to 33777 or search KPLC in your app store today.
Just like all moms, I'm always concerned about my children's well-being. But sometimes they get sick. Sometimes they get hurt. That's why I'm so grateful we have children's hospitals. Because when any child needs a miracle, they'll do everything in their power to make one happen. With our support. Please join me in giving sick and injured children every chance to get better. Put your money where the miracles are. Please join me in supporting Christus St. Patrick Hospital.
Health officials in Florida are looking into a possible second case of non-travel related Zika. The investigation is ongoing, but neither of the infected patients appear to have traveled to a Zika-affected country. John Rogers reports this has government officials and blood banks on alert.
Governor Rick Scott is not taking any chances.
My issue is make sure we're ready for Zika.
Governor Scott says the state has already committed $26.5 million to combat this disease, but he needs more money to fund mosquito control departments and to buy more CDC testing kits. This week, President Obama promised Scott an additional $6 million.
But this is not actually just a state issue. We're just the tip of the spear for the United States. This is a national issue. So I'm disappointed the Congress hasn't funded anything. I'm disappointed the President has not done more.
Blood banks are doing what they can to help. Starting August 1st, all One Blood donation centers across the state will offer Zika screenings to donors.
You know, we don't know everything there is to know about this disease yet.
It's an experimental program One Blood is doing for the FDA. If donors consent to the screening, their blood will be taken to this state-of-the-art center in St. Petersburg, where within 12 to 24 hours, the device can determine whether the Zika virus is in the blood. The tested blood will be given to pregnant women in hospitals.
Until we feel we have a handle on every possible way you could pick up this virus, it's just safer to screen the blood.
Officials say 80% of Zika patients don't show any symptoms, so it's vital to take every precaution to keep people safe.
And right now, the Zika screening is experimental and awaiting full FDA approval. And depending on its success, this program may be expanded. I think every time it rains, we instantly think of Zika, and we did have some showers out there today, Zach.
Yeah, we did have some showers, but it's also the heat that fuels all of those mosquitoes. And we know we deal with mosquitoes across southwest Louisiana. Look at these high temperatures today. Still very hot, but not upper 90s hot. We're starting to bring those highs back down. That's because rain chances are going up. I'll tell you about it in my first alert forecast coming up after the break.
In the heart of a city steeped in history stands the luxurious Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, where Stephen Douglas stayed the night he lost the presidency to Abraham Lincoln. Just blocks away, the Renaissance Riverview Plaza Hotel overlooks beautiful Mobile Bay. With so much to see, it's a great time to take advantage of historically low rates at both hotels. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com and make your own date with history.
Right now at Billy Navarre Certified Pre-Owned in Lake Charles. Get our lowest prices ever on everything in stock. Wow! And choose from Billy Navarre Certified Pre-Owned's best selection ever. All with low monthly payments. Wow! At Billy Navarre Certified Pre-Owned in Lake Charles.
KPLC and the Diamond Durrell's Diamond Team want to make your day sparkle. Enter our giveaway and you could win a Ronaldo Power of Prayer bracelet valued at $70. Log on to KPLCTV.com and click on the contest page to enter today.
We call it Southwest Louisiana. Cajun country. Sportsman's paradise. Well, the names may be up for debate. But whether you're from West Calcasieu, East Beauregard, or the Cameron Coast, everyone agrees. Our proud traditions make us a certain way. It's the way we embrace our faith, community, and our heritage. That way is what unites us. It's what we call home. Focusing on the stories you've been following all day. Agnes Derwan and Jillian Corder, KPLC 7 News, first at 4, weekdays at 4 p.m. The 7 Storm Team Skycam Network is sponsored by Billy Navarre. With quick service and low prices, we challenge any dealer in America to beat. The 7 Storm Team Personal Forecast is sponsored by Home Building Materials, Home Furniture, Mazda of Lake Charles, and Lakeside Bank. From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Zach Fradella.
This time of year, you really don't know what to call it outside. It's muggy, it's soupy, it's heavy, it's nasty, it's just about everything because it's still in the 80s across the board. Here's our Weather Watcher temperatures. James Grundy in Oberlin sitting at 84 degrees. Faith Poe and Singer at 82. Kent Walter in Vinton at 84. And Keith Caton in Deatonville still 87. That's heavy. That's very heavy air. Downtown Lake Charles sitting at 85 degrees at this time. Look at our high today, 94. Past few days it's been 97, 98. So we're coming down. That's because we had a shower. You could see, say, 3/100ths of an inch of rain fell in downtown Lake Charles. The heaviest portion of that storm actually developed along I-210, say right around Highway 14. That's where it stormed for a long time, and then it sort of kind of moved about, and then it just weakened. There's 76 for overnight tonight, so we will drop a few more degrees, and I'm calling it that heavy air. So that's the one we'll use for today. And there's your AM coastal storms. We usually see those storms develop about, say, 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning down near the coast, and then they start to spread inland. As those storms move inland, usually they make it to about I-10 around 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m. and then farther north the later in the afternoon. You get 91 tomorrow, so we're going to continue to trend those high temperatures down because I think our rain chances will be going slowly upward over the coming days. Here's how it plays out in Futurecast. You can see during the afternoon hours a very good scattering of storms expected on your Sunday. Going to go with 40%. Today we forecasted 40%, but it was more closely, say, 30 to 20%. Not many locations saw rain today, but if you were in Lake Charles, you were one of those locations that saw rain. And this is how it plays out with the temperatures throughout the day. You can see how in the morning hours we're starting in the 70s. There's that 91 for the afternoon high, and that's that time, sometime between 11 and 3. That's your best chance of rain. Northern locations, you can almost delay that maybe about, say, 3 or 4 hours. You get the better chances of rain, say, 3 to 6 o'clock during the afternoon. When you go back to work on Monday, we're going to go up to a 60%, and there's going to be a disturbance that's going to pass us by, and that's what's going to provide for numerous showers and storms. You can notice how Futurecast is starting to pick up on that. We're starting to see a heavier coverage of those storms on Monday, so that's something you might have to plan for as you head back to work. But overall, the next week, it's going to basically rain every day. Not everywhere every day, but there will be storms around. You'll probably see them, at least see them if it doesn't rain on your head. The Pacific has been producing storm after storm, but it's Tropical Storm Darby that actually has the headlines right now, moving across Hawaii, something that really doesn't happen very often. Here's that 7-day, and like I said, every single day has rain chances. The best rain chances for the upcoming work week will be on Monday. But you know the usual summertime pattern. Just have that umbrella on standby, and if you don't get the rain, you will easily have the heat, unfortunately.
Well, hot out there, and in sports, Astros staying hot too, huh?
Hey, they were hitting bombs out of Minute Maid tonight. H-Town certainly rolling in the AL West, sitting just 2.5 games behind the first-place Texas Rangers. Coming up, we'll roll the highlights tonight versus the Angels. Plus, we look back at some memorable games for McNeese and the Cowboys versus FBS schools. That's all coming up next in sports.
The Weather Watcher Network is sponsored by Mark Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
The promise of the 7 Storm team is that everyone has access to critical information no matter where they are. And our technology gives us the power to do just that.
During a storm, we know thousands of people are depending on us for reliable information. If we can help keep you and your family safe, that makes us feel good.
Delivering potentially life-saving information is a responsibility we take seriously. And that's why we can honestly say you can rely on the 7 Storm team.
Nestled under the historic Sallier Oak, the Imperial Calcasieu Museum preserves our rich past and explores the future of visual art. Step back in time as you discover centuries of Imperial Calcasieu history. Then step into the Gibson Barham Gallery to experience the diverse works of contemporary and traditional artists. Branch Out Summer Arts Camp explores surrealism through drawing, painting, printmaking, and sculpture. Arts education and cultural preservation, the Imperial Calcasieu Museum.
Nearly 30,000 men and women run Louisiana chemical manufacturing 24/7. Good people with good jobs, and they're proud of what they make. Chemicals that go into everything we use every day. Smartphones and HD TVs, medicines, clean drinking water, cosmetics. The list is endless. If you can name it, chemicals helped make it. Louisiana chemical manufacturing. People making things, lots of things, that make our lives better. Much better.
Neighborhoods just aren't the same anymore. A lot of us have never even met our neighbors. That's why I joined SWLA Connected. It's a great way to stay, well, connected. You can invite the block to your garage sale, organize a group, work with your neighbors to keep an eye on crime.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Katie. Or send a private message, or post an alert if you're ever in need of a helping hand.
Oh, you found him. Oh.
SWLA Connected, because a more connected neighborhood is just neighborly.
KPLC 7 News Now is changing the way it brings real-time news and weather to your phone with the new and improved KPLC mobile app. Search KPLC in your app store today.
Where local sports come first. 7 Sports with Mike Gaither.
And I wanted it so much, for McNeese, to go to Nebraska and beat a Big Ten team, and it would have been a great deal. Nevertheless, I was very proud of our players. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've replayed that game a bunch of times.
That was current ULM and former McNeese head coach Matt Viator, who spent some time this week reflecting on his memories at his alma mater. In a sentimental interview, Viator talked about several games that have replayed over and over again, including last year's second-round playoff loss to Sam Houston State and 2014's crushing loss to Nebraska. Over the years, McNeese has had a memorable share of games versus FBS-level schools. Still to this day, the Pokes have never beaten a team from a Power 5 conference. In 2014, the Cowboys nearly upset number 19 Nebraska on the road. The Cornhuskers running back Amir Abdullah would deny that opportunity with 20 seconds left, breaking off an impossible run into the end zone to seal the deal on a 31-24 victory. Then in 2013, the Cowboys went to USF, a 3-touchdown underdog, and they handled the Bulls, the most embarrassing loss in their history, drubbing South Florida 53-21. And now with the 2016 season rapidly approaching, all eyes shift towards the Cowboys having the opportunity to take out an arch nemesis in another FBS level school when they get set to face newly transferred quarterback from LSU Anthony Jennings and the Ragin' Cajuns on September 10th. But before the good stuff, we have to get through the Southland Conference Media Day, which will be held next Wednesday at the L'Auberge Resort. Following Media Day, the Pokes will report for camp on August 3rd and open the season on September 3rd at home against Tarleton State. In Baton Rouge, the Tigers, they won't be too far behind their own starting camp. They'll do so with a few luxuries of their own, more veterans than they're used to. That should certainly help them on offense, an area they struggle to find consistency down the stretch of the regular season. Quarterback Brandon Harris will continue to be a talking point as the last piece of the offensive puzzle, but working in his favor are a few veteran wide receivers in senior Travin Durrell and junior Malachi Dupree. They've both seen playing time since they stepped on campus and shouldn't be rattled by the pressure.
You have guys going to their third year as starters, and in Malachi's case, it's kind of like you're playing a senior because you had a chance to play as a freshman. And Traven's been around a long time, a lot of experience. So that definitely helps going into the season. Going to some hostile environments, and these guys can help bring the young guys along.
And out to Minute Maid, Astros and Angels. Houston looking for 3 straight wins. Bottom 2, Evan Gattis with 2 on and 2 out. Oh, see ya. He belts that hanger down the line to left just over the wall for a 3-run shot. Then in the 4th, he got greedy. If some is good, more is better. Jared Weaver leaves a tail-end fastball down over the middle of the plate, and Gattis deposits that deep to left for his 2nd home run of the game. Correa, he'd also add a home run as the Astros win it 7-2 over Seattle. Houston will go for the sweep on Sunday. And check it out, look who's back. Tomorrow, the retired 5-time Brickyard 400 champion Jeff Gordon will fill in for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Gordon will start 21st at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So certainly a lot of NASCAR fans excited to see Jeff Gordon back in a race car. And should be a lot of fun. We'll see if he can get it done and kiss the bricks at the end.
Good old NASCAR. Well, a race of a different kind. It was the annual running of the Bulls in Key West. Well, sort of. Scores of Ernest Hemingway lookalikes took off, mimicking the real run held each year in Spain. They paraded through the historic downtown streets with life-size replica bulls on wheels. Now, the event was part of the Hemingway Days celebration, which honors the lifestyle and legacy of the author who lived and wrote in Key West. The festival runs through Sunday. Bulls on wheels. How about that?
Bulls in Florida.
They all look pretty good, though. They did a good job.
But it's hot. And, well, they have white on, so we're getting somewhere. And they look to be drinking. I don't know what beverage. Might not be the best beverage to be drinking when it's hot, but hopefully it's water. Here's your work week forecast. After we get through your Sunday, going to have another good chance of rain for Sunday. There'll be the scattered storms. It's not going to rain all day, so don't cancel those plans. Monday's probably your highest rain coverage as we go up to 60%, and then everyday rain chances from there on.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 5. As always, thanks for tuning in and have a great night.